What's happening, everybody? Welcome to another week of Family Chats, where sports brings the family together. My name is Freddie Rivera. I'm the father and the dad here. I have my son, Giovanni Rivera, right next to me. Say what's up, Joe.
What is up, everybody? What's up, YouTube? What's up, Facebook? What's up, SoundCloud? What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in for another week number 9 of Family Chats.
And I have my nephew, Angel Garcet, over there. Angel, what's up?
What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in again. Got a lot to talk about, so let's get right to it.
So the first conversation we're going to get into is the NBA. NBA is a lot going on, just a lot of good fun stories going on. LeBron is a big topic. After the All-Star break, we thought that they had fixed the team with the big trades that they made. They came out on fire going to Boston and putting a whooping on Boston, made a huge statement in Boston, then went to Oklahoma, beat Oklahoma pretty good. Just looked like a totally different team. And it looked like Cleveland was on their way again to be the old Cleveland. And after the All-Star break, almost like the All-Star break was a curse for them because they've now lost 4 games in a row at Cleveland. I don't think Jordan's ever done that.
Here we go.
Throwing it out
Starting
there.
it off already, LeBron. Already the Jordan
let's
show.
get it started. Michael Jordan, I don't think's ever done that. I'm just throwing it out there for all you LeBron lovers. But it's frustrating to watch. LeBron continues to get triple doubles and the team continues to lose. So what good is the triple doubles if they cannot win? But do you guys, starting that off, do you guys think that they can turn it around, or what do they need to do to fix what seems to be like they took 2 steps forward to take 5 back?
I'll tell you what.
Go ahead, tell me.
I'll tell you what they need to do. They need to fire that bum of a coach who's not doing nothing but sitting on the sidelines. I mean, I swear he doesn't do anything. He's like, I don't know. They trade the players, all right? They thought they fixed it, woohoo, boohoo, but now it's starting to show. Like it's showing his true colors.
So wait, so you think
That
it's
he's
Tyronn
garbage.
Lue, and you don't think the problem is LeBron?
Why the
It's
hell?
gotta be one or the other.
What the
Absolutely
hell
not.
would the problem be LeBron?
Absolutely
He is
not.
an MVP candidate having one of the best seasons of his career.
What do you guys think? You think
Why?
it's LeBron or you think it's Tyronn Lue? Because it seems like LeBron is the coach of the team and the GM,
God.
and when they win, LeBron gets the credit. When they lose, they try to blame Tyronn Lue. I don't understand this.
Why would it ever be LeBron James's fault?
It's definitely not LeBron.
He's
This
because
guy's having the best career, like best season of his career. And it's
Statistically.
Statistically, yeah.
Yeah.
But okay, and this is probably not even the best LeBron team we've seen the past
Probably one of the
7,
worst.
8 years that he's been to the finals.
But they started the year as one of the favorites, and I felt that when they started to go backwards a little bit, that again, I thought LeBron's leadership took a step back because he did not step up to defend the team or the coach. Now, they made what we thought was great moves. It was Joe suggested get rid of everybody, and we laughed at it a few shows back, and then they pretty much did get rid of everybody, and it looked like they made great trades, got younger, got more defensive, came out right away. They seemed like they messed like they've been playing for a long time, and now they take steps back. Is it defense? Is it young guys still need some time? What do you guys think? Harry says,
I love Harry's comment.
you can't blame the guy getting the triple doubles. That's like blaming a 50 home run guy on a team that can win in baseball.
It's at the end of the day, it's everything cannot be blamed on LeBron. Because listen, he can't play all 5 positions. He can't play all 48 minutes in a game. He has to do his part, and he's doing his part probably the best we've ever seen him. And the Tyronn Lue, obviously we've seen it all year. This team struggled. I mean, it's at some point you gotta make a change.
But
The team is too good. They have way too good pieces to still be losing like this.
yeah, but when you still look at this Cavs team, they're still, you look at them and you're like, this is not what a championship team looks like. They're still not good enough to beat the Warriors. They're not even good enough to beat the Rockets right now. They're not even good enough to beat. They're barely good enough to beat Toronto, and
Philly
beat them. I know they beat Philly twice, so I'll give LeBron a little edge on that. So they beat them twice. But also, you can't blame them for J.R. Smith getting suspended for throwing soup at the assistant coach and getting suspended a game. You can't blame Kevin Love for breaking his hand. That's good. That's a big piece right there for LeBron to start winning some games again. This guy's averaging a triple-double without his second-best player. So he's working with a bunch of young kids right now who really don't have any type of playoff experience.
And it's his fault.
Yeah, so
And it's
Carlos,
his-
all
and it's
right,
his
so I'm
fault.
going to take some comments here. Carlos Baez says LeBron's on autopilot waiting to go to Houston. Jason Hernandez, who normally in Orlando, is tuning in from New York. Hope you're having a great time up there. But something is wrong here. And I watched a few games. I watched the Philly game, and LeBron plays good, but it seems like when it gets down to crunch time, he seems like he's not stepping up. He seems like he's scoring throughout the game, but when the game counts, he's either settling for threes and missing, and he's just not taking charge late in the games. And also, obviously, they're double teaming him and forcing other guys to score, and the other guys aren't scoring. But it just seems like at the end of the games, either he's tightening up or the team's tightening up, because they're in most of these games. Philly obviously played them really well at the end, but I'm just when you got like Denver coming into Cleveland and beating them, and some teams like this, it baffles me that they're not winning. So, are they who we think they are? Is there, what they're showing us is just who they're going to be, right? They're just going to be a team that struggles going into the playoffs, and they might get hot, and LeBron carries them? Or do you think that, no, this team's got a lot to improve, and they'll be the old Cleveland Cavs and get to the finals?
I think right now, like, the team that they have right now is probably going to be the team that they're going to be until Kevin Love gets back. I'm telling you, Kevin Love is going to be a huge piece to them starting to win games once they come back. LeBron has no other person to really rely on to try to score the ball. Who's their second option right now? J.R. Smith,
Jordan Clarkson.
Jordan Clarkson
Nance.
is he's a good young talent,
Yeah.
but he can't carry
He's
his
still
team.
not the.
He's-
I feel like the trades Cleveland made was ultimately leading to LeBron's obviously, departure.
So you think that the trades were because they wanted to try to keep LeBron? They had to make a move, either to try to keep him or to get younger just in case LeBron left. And you made a great point, Angel, because I do believe that that's the piece they're missing. They're missing that second scorer who can give them 20, 25. LeBron can take it, and this is where LeBron, and it's true, over the years we've noticed LeBron isn't the scorer that Jordan is, right? He scores points, but he just is not a scorer. He can score, but he likes to pass first, and this is where sometimes he passes a little too much, and then when he needs to step up and shoot, he kind of, forces it sometimes, and maybe sometimes needs to back up and just outmuscle a lot of these guys. That's how I feel, but you're right. I think they're missing another big scorer, and a lot of these young guys just aren't ready to step up
They're
and
not
be
as
that
consistent.
scorer.
They're not consistent enough to be relied on this team right now. I mean, going forward, I feel like when the playoffs come around, we're going to see the same thing that we see every year, and the Cavs are just going to roll through to the Eastern Conference Finals. And then it's going to be up in the air from there. I mean, you got teams like the Celtics and the Raptors who are playing so well. And listen, the East is so close right now to where
It really
the
is.
first or the third seed and the sixth seed are a game and a half.
Yeah,
Game and a half.
There could be a lot of movement.
So the
right?
Sixers, they win a couple more games, and Cleveland loses a couple more games. They could
They're 2
flip-flop
games
easily.
behind. They're 2 games behind the Cavs, the Sixers, so that could switch. Jason Hernandez believes that LeBron's like Tiger Woods. The playoffs really doesn't even matter anymore, right? Or Tiger
You mean
Woods
the
is
regular
just,
season?
the regular season doesn't matter. It's all about the playoffs and winning championships. Or from what I see, all that matters is as long as he gets to the finals, he's fine with it, because championships really doesn't matter anymore. Just get to the championship, and you can prove that you're one of the best ever.
When has he ever came out and said that he loves losing finals?
That's what I get the feeling from you guys. You guys talk a lot about him just getting to the finals every year, 9 years
Because
in a row.
when he gets to the
Because
finals,
the East is just a terrible. It's always
You
a
can
terrible
say it.
division. That's why I say.
listen,
That's why it proves when he gets to the
okay,
finals,
perfect.
you're not winning as many because you're playing the tough teams in the West.
Perfect. Okay, this is what you say every time. You say that Jordan, the East was like the West.
The East was the toughest league.
Okay,
You
so let me
doing
give you this.
True.
So how many times has Jordan lost in the Eastern Conference Finals? How many times did he lose? So
Yeah.
you're saying since that is the same
Well,
as LeBron's finals, since LeBron's finals are harder, and basically it's the same as Jordan's Eastern Conference Finals. What's Jordan's record in the Eastern Conference Finals?
I don't
Not
know.
perfect.
We'll have to look it up.
It's
no, it's
not
not perfect
perfect.
because he obviously lost to Detroit when Detroit went back to back
When
championship.
Detroit was good and they are actually
Well, they were good when Jordan finally beat them. I mean, they didn't
They were
all of a
old.
sudden become they didn't all of a sudden become old. They won 2 championships and all of a sudden they became old. That's nonsense. They were still very good, but the Jordan team finally figured them out, and Jordan matured. And when Jordan figured it out, he didn't step back. That's the difference. I'm telling you, the difference between LeBron and Jordan is when Jordan figured it out and won the championship, he didn't take steps back.
okay. The thing I'm saying is that LeBron's finals is harder than Jordan's finals. LeBron wasn't playing.
Yes,
LeBron was
that's
playing
true.
better teams in the finals than
That,
Jordan
well,
was.
no, that's true because you got obviously you got Golden State, you have San Antonio teams. They were great all around teams we love to watch because they play very well together
The
and
only
they have
team I can
multiple
ever,
superstars.
the only team that I think hurts his resume is the stupid Mavericks.
The Mavericks,
But that was
yeah.
his first finals. So.
It's true. The Mavericks hurt him because he was with the Heat and they had 3 stars with the Heat and they were expected to win and they lost that. So that's very true. The other ones you can go either way because they play very talented West Coast teams. Again, LeBron's great. I don't take anything away from him. I just think that sometimes it's just very frustrating because it almost seems like he's just settling through either regular season. This regular season doesn't matter much. He takes breaks. He takes days off. This is the first year he hasn't taken the game off, which is impressive too with
So
the
why are
year
you
that
bringing
he's
it up?
having. No,
So
because
why are you bringing it
I'm
up?
bringing it up because it's happened every year, and this year they're bringing it up that he's not taking the day off. Maybe he needs to take a day off or so. Maybe that helps him. I don't know.
I mean, he's having triple doubles.
But I don't think-
I just
Well,
think
I
he needs
think
to play
the
less
big-
minutes in the earlier quarters. He's playing too many minutes in those first, second quarters, and then once he gets to that third, fourth quarter, he's already playing 35 minutes in the beginning of the
That's
fourth
true.
quarter.
I don't think they have the team right now where he can step back and take the
hard.
day off, right? Because
Yeah.
when he had Kyrie Irving, it was much different. Kyrie Irving can carry that team. He doesn't have anybody right now on the team that you can look at and say they can carry them to a victory or obviously take the minutes that.
And I'm pretty sure the NBA spread out the season like the MLB did to give them more
days off in between.
less travel
maybe.
days.
But again, guys, thanks for tuning in, Family Chats. We're talking NBA. We're talking the Cavs right now. We'll get into the West and Houston and their hot streak. They had a great game yesterday against the Celtics. But throw in your comments, your questions. We'll be talking MLB baseball soon. Spring training. We'll talk NCAA March Madness. But back to the NBA.
Now let me ask this question.
Yes.
Obviously the MVP race is pretty close this year. It's not by any means a blowout or by any means gone.
Who would be your top 4
Right now?
Yeah, right now.
James Harden,
Yeah.
probably.
But he probably.
I mean,
he's obviously.
it's just because of the Houston Rockets.
Right,
I mean,
'cause
he
they're winning.
has the most points, but other than that, it's like.
And they're winning. They got the best record, so you got to give
I
them
mean,
credit.
I really someone who we haven't talked about is Anthony Davis, who's averaging 28 points per game, over 11 rebounds.
He's the first
over
player
2
since
blocks.
he's the first player since Moses Malone to average 30+ points and I believe it was like 12 rebounds over a month span. That's a long time ago. That's the type of month that he's having. Ever since his counterpart got hurt, he's stepped up huge, put up some big numbers.
I mean, and then other than that, I like LeBron at 3, and then
Do you say who
For-
from Golden State?
nobody. From
You wouldn't put
Golden State.
anybody from Golden State as
No.
a part of the MVP race?
No.
You probably could put Curry up there. He's had,
Curry
even though we
in
haven't
front of,
been talking about him much now, but
I
he's been having a good season. Even though he was hurt for a couple weeks.
Number 4
Nobody
probably-
from Toronto?
Number 4 probably would be Giannis Antetokounmpo. No, because Toronto doesn't have any star like.
Carlos says the Greek freak.
He's
Yeah.
he would be.
He's
Definitely up
definitely
there.
Yeah, he's definitely up there.
Definitely up there, so
I would say that'd be my
pointing
top
that
4. No one from Golden State makes my top 4. They're just too good overall for me to say like
The-
one person.
Right, one person dominating like
Yeah.
LeBron carrying the team. How about CP3?
Hell no. What do you mean CP3? He's not having good. He doesn't have good enough numbers to be considered.
But do you see the fact that he's come to Houston
No.
has made them as good as they are this
I
year?
don't,
He's obviously taking
I
them.
don't agree.
Don't you think he's taking them from where?
I don't agree in the fact that just because a team's winning, they should have this guy be an MVP. It's like it goes by the stats. I don't think that we should say, oh, this guy's MVP just because his team's in first place.
No, it has to do with stats first, right, and what they're putting into the team.
I don't agree with saying, oh, CP3 should be an MVP candidate because he went to the Rockets and now.
But is he making a difference? Is he scoring
He's the
20
biggest
points
difference.
a game? But that's my
But he
point.
is not a MVP caliber talent right now. Right now, he is made that team what it is. He's averaging probably 18 points, 10 assists.
And it's amazing because
That's not
to
MVP
me,
though to be.
To me, a point guard like that makes such a huge difference on a team. This is where I think LeBron is struggling because LeBron needs to be that, right? That's why they had to trade Isaiah Thomas because they just clashed, right? Isaiah Thomas needed to have the ball, LeBron had to have the ball, and they just couldn't figure it out together. I believe this is why Kyrie left because Kyrie's obviously was the one right leading the team and being the point guard, and LeBron wants to be that too at times. He wants to have the ball and give assists, and so it's important to have a point guard that knows the team, distributes the ball properly, and knows when to give the ball to the right players. And I think CP3 has done that, and why Houston is so meshing so well. Not only just with Harden, but the bench. Their bench is playing very well. They're just playing great ball as a team. I think they can compete. The next question would be, will they dethrone Golden State, one, in the regular season? Will they hold off Golden State in the regular season? And two, can they, in the playoffs, if they play the 7-game series, can they beat Golden State?
I still don't think I love the Rockets right now. They're on a hot streak, and I think they're gonna make it far into the playoffs. But the Warriors are still the team to beat. They have the best team. We look at their team and they have Durant, Curry, Draymond is a good defensive player, even though he's crazy sometimes, and Klay Thompson. And when you put those four together on the court, it's like those four are all stars. They all made the All-Star team this year. So it's like when you look at Houston, yeah, they're on a hot streak. They won 14 whatever games 15 games in a row. But once Harden gets out of the game, and the Warriors still have Durant and Klay Thompson still on the court scoring the ball, it's going to be hard to try to come back and try to beat them in a 7-game series.
That's true. Let me just bring some comments here, right? B. Cook from New Jersey. What's up, B. Cook? He says anything is possible, but not beating the Warriors. Israel Rivera obviously says Houston Rockets bench have been huge for Houston, and he also says CP3 is definitely making a huge difference for them. Javi Gar said, Gavi, what's happening? Says about LeBron, he doesn't have Jordan's killer takeover mentality, and to say Jordan didn't play any good teams to win is crazy. I totally agree there, but
I didn't say that. I said he hasn't played the level of teams that LeBron played.
Right. You just felt that
the level
of teams like the Golden State and San Antonio that is.
But like we said before, we said this earlier, Jordan's team literally was the Warriors that they are today, pretty much. Because if you look at Jordan's teams all the time, they were always 65 and whatever, and they had the best record in the league.
Okay, so let's say this. Let's say Steph Curry goes on to win 7 out of 8 championships in his career. Is he better than LeBron James?
Of course not.
No.
Okay, then why is it such a stupid conversation that we have to have about the stupid finals wins? I mean, it makes no sense that we have to talk about the finals.
Here's why.
Wins.
Because if he's the greatest of all time, then we know he's the greatest of this era. Then you start talking championships. It's just the way it is. I mean, if you're saying you're the greatest of all time, you start looking at, okay, we understand the stats show that, but now do the championships back that up? And that's where you're missing out. Jordan showed the stats. You can see the stats, but he also had the trophies to back it up. So it's just normal. That's what's going to happen in conversation. People are just going to point to.
How would you compare LeBron's team right now to Jordan's team?
That's the problem with LeBron's team right now. With no Kyrie Irving, there is no contest. Once Kyrie Irving
even
left,
when Kyrie was there, how would you compare them to?
You had 3 guys: Kyrie Irving, right, and the guy that's hurt right now. Who are superstars who average 20+ points a game.
Let me say this:
I don't think Jordan.
Finals, Kevin Love was hurt. and one finals, Kyrie Irving was hurt.
They were both hurt in the same finals.
That was the same
But
finals.
Kyrie wasn't out. Love was out. Kyrie was just a little injured.
Kyrie got
I think
hurt too.
I think
He was
Kyrie
out.
got hurt in that playoffs too. Love got hurt because he ended up dislocating his
That was
shoulder.
in like the second round.
and
then
then Kyrie
in
ended
the
up hurting.
finals.
Oh, he got hurt
True.
in the finals. That's true, and he was out for like the next 5 games.
Yeah, and it's true. Like Jason says, Joe is just too young to understand MJ's greatness, and it's a shame. It's true.
I don't discredit Jordan. I just feel like
I think you guys miss
The
out
talent?
on just here's what I think you miss out on, Jordan. It's the intangibles of how good mentally he was when it came down, not just during the games. I'm talking down the stretch at the end of the game. He was so good when to decide to take the ball and take over that no one could stop him. And this is what we think that as people who've seen it. That's why we're frustrated with LeBron, because we believe he has the talent at the end of games to just take over a game. He does. Can't nobody tell me that he cannot take over a game at the end of the game. But it seems like he just does not have the mentality to say, I'm going to take over, give me the ball, move out the way, and I'm going to take over. And that's what we see. Trust me, that's the difference that we see from Jordan. And here's what it is. It's not just, well, LeBron obviously going to miss shots. Yes. But LeBron and Jordan, here's Jordan, how good Jordan was. When Jordan knew his jump shot was off, he was going to draw a foul. He was going to post you up or go to the basket and draw a foul. And Jordan was so good that when he got to the line, he was a great free throw shooter. He shot high 80%. So this is where people obviously know that have seen Jordan and LeBron. There's just a difference. It's almost like LeBron is more like Magic Johnson. That's why you'll hear people say, oh, he's close to Magic Johnson, because he wants to be a point guard. And Jordan was more end of the year, let's take over. End of the game, let's take over and give me the ball, move out the way. And the other guys knew it. The other guys played well with him, and they played well together, that they distributed the ball well, knew when to give it to Jordan. Jordan also knew when to dish it off to the right players at the right time. So, not saying LeBron can't, but it just seems like LeBron just misses out on taking over at the end of games.
listen. After that 20-minute Michael Jordan kiss butt that you just did, can I have something to say? I don't want to discredit Michael Jordan at all. I think that he was probably the greatest player of all time. I feel like LeBron James is just his talent and his size and his build makes him like he would dominate in those Jordan era years.
Yeah, and I believe
feel like
he would, and that's the thing that we talked about this, right? Even the two eras. People say, well, would LeBron do well in that era and would Jordan do well in this? I think both would still dominate because that era was so tough that LeBron can't handle it because he's so big. But Jordan was so good that he would do even better in this type of it's not as tough and it's more of a 3-point shooting game. Jordan would kill this era too. So that's why I'm saying I think they would both still be
Jordan
very
wasn't
good.
a good 3-point.
Oh, he became a great 3-point shooter. He wasn't in the beginning.
Yeah,
towards the end, he became a great 3-point shooter. He just knew when to shoot, and when he got hot, he used it to his advantage. But Jordan was very good at driving and posting up, and that's why I think LeBron doesn't do enough because this league is so 3-point, right? They're so in love with the 3-pointers that I think sometimes it takes away from the game.
Yeah.
So. Comments, Jordan got his opponent in his opponent's head, Kyle Gabi says. Jason says, yes, mentally he never broke. Even when he lost, he never gave up. Stephen Morris, so true about Jordan. Plus, he didn't travel while driving to the basket like LeBron, who doesn't travel half of the time. Harry Irving and love for LeBron equals Pippen and Rodman for MJ. Very true, and that's the thing when you look at it. Harry says, yeah. And here's the difference.
You are crazy if you think that that's the same comparison.
Well, hold on.
You are crazy.
Irving and Love are much better scorers than Pippen and Rodman ever were.
Exactly,
combined.
because they didn't have to be. Because Michael Jordan was the only person they needed to score the ball most of the time.
No, well, he didn't score 50 points a game. Jordan averaged 30-some points a game. Come on, let's be reality.
That's a lot compared to the era that they were in with it's so physical.
I know, but guess what? They were better defenders.
Yes,
they were the best defenders.
They were the best defensive
league.
team. Yes, it's true.
Tell me how the Cavaliers compared to that.
And that's true because I think that's what this.
Tell me how that team. That's why the Cavaliers will never be on that same level of Jordan.
You guys will know this. It's true what he's saying there that the Jordan team was so good
You're
that it
crazy to
wasn't
make
just
comparison.
that it wasn't just offense. They were so good defensively.
They were the best
Because
defensively.
you had Rodman, who had several Defensive Player of the Year league awards, right, that he won. Jordan won one. Pippen, I believe, maybe won. But they were all on the all-defensive team. The three of them, probably at least 7 times each. Rodman had the most. Jordan was next, and then Pippen. They were all so good defensively that they were a great all-around team, and that's where I think
And
Cleveland
it's,
lacks.
it's
It's true,
crazy
because
to make that
Kyrie
comparison.
Irving
those
plays
two-
no defense.
Because those two guys could not compare to the level of defense that those two guys on the Jordan teams played. I mean,
Yeah.
that's at the end of the day, that's the biggest difference between the Jordan teams and the LeBron James teams
Yeah,
is the defense.
that's very true.
They played the hardest defense back in the day that you will not see in this era at all
Yeah.
from any team.
And here's what Harry's saying. Point being, LeBron needs the better shooters to win. MJ can carry the team offensively, and that's where the difference.
LeBron
was.
James is a better distributor than
Right,
anyone
that's what
we've
he
probably
means.
ever seen.
Where
as-
Jordan
from
can
his size.
score, where LeBron needs more scores. Right. That's basically what he's saying.
Basically,
LeBron needs more scores on his team. Jordan did not.
Every
Jordan just
player-
needed players to play their role.
every superstar we've ever seen needs different players that fill different roles.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's not just, okay, Jordan needed this, so every superstar needs that. No,
That's
they
true.
play different styles of game. LeBron James is a big guy, yeah, we know. He can score 25 to 35 points a game, yeah, we know. But he needs teams, guys that can shoot. He needs guys that play defense, and he doesn't have that.
Yeah.
He's never had that, really,
Very
in his
true.
whole entire career.
Hey, Lee Perry joining in. Thanks for joining in, Lee. Good to see you. Lee Perry, who played ball and was a very good ball player in his own rights, him and his family. He says MJ and LBJ are the 2 best NBA players ever. Just enjoy the moment and be a witness. And that's true. But it's it's hard not to have these conversations with generations, right? My son and my nephew had never seen MJ play, right? We had the ability to see both play, and that's the difference. Now, Lee says MJ had an X factor, Phil Jackson, a Hall of Fame coach, which is very true. Travis Peace from New Jersey, what's up? LBJ is a freak of nature. Very true. B. Cook, why do we bypass Kobe in this combo? He has several championships. That's
Like I
very
said,
true about Kobe.
Kobe, I'll answer that real quick. Kobe was too much like Michael Jordan.
Oh yeah,
So
he idolized
that's the
Michael.
problem why we overlook Kobe so much was because he looked like Michael Jordan when he played his whole career. He shot like Michael. He wanted to be everything like Michael Jordan. He
did everything.
He did everything
mimicked
like- he
everything
mimicked
Jordan.
everything Jordan
And he
did,
was a
so
great
that-
defender, which he doesn't get enough credit for. Now, Kobe wasn't as good as a passer as Michael Jordan. Now, when Kobe got Shaq was
Wow.
when he was able to win more championships. Kobe struggled when he didn't have that other star.
Neither Jordan or LeBron James have ever had someone like Shaq
Like
on their
Shaq,
team.
that's
so
very true.
That's something we can also
Here's
discredit.
thanks Lee, appreciate the love, man.
For
Real strong.
okay, for you to be.
But hold on, let me
say something. No,
let me ask.
say something.
Go
Let me say
ahead.
something about that. Pump. You can't be in this conversation if you weren't the best player on your team at that when you won a championship.
Well, I believe Kobe was the best player still. Because Kobe, when it came down the stretch, listen to me, Shaq obviously could give the ball during the middle of the game and he could score points and dominate. Shaq couldn't do that because they would foul him and put him to the line. You couldn't foul Kobe and put him on the line. Kobe was going to make his free throws. Shaq was not going to make free throws. Shaq was not going to make Shaq was not going to be the go-to guy when they needed a three-pointer or they needed a two-point bucket at the end of the game. No, that was Kobe because Kobe was very MJ-like.
I mean, you can foul Shaq
So-
all you want, but he was still going to dunk on anybody. You
That's
still
true.
couldn't stop him. So that's where I'm trying to say.
Here's what Harry says, and I kind of agree. It comes down to coaching at the end. LeBron has never had a great coach, and it's a shame. MJ always had the best coach of big
I
personalities.
never even thought about that.
And that's what,
That is
and
a
that's
fantastic
that's a great point because you were just talking about it, right? You're like, hey, Cleveland needs to get rid of their coach. Their coaching stinks, but you know LeBron makes that decision too. And when they got rid of the previous coach, when he was winning with Cleveland, and everybody said, why are they firing this coach when they're winning? It was LeBron's decision to bring in Tyronn Lue, was it not? So I don't. But it's true what you're saying. The coaching made a huge difference. It was stability. When Jordan was there, their coach became the leader when it came to us keeping stability in the team and keeping different personalities because the Bulls had different personality. You look at Pippen's personality and Rodman's personality compared to Jordan's. Those are three big-time personalities, and to keep them together and keep them playing well, had to give a credit to the coach.
That's why I say LeBron needs to go to San Antonio, man.
Oh my God.
Greg Popovich is probably the greatest
If
coach
he goes
of
to
all
San
time.
Antonio, his legacy is ruined forever, and I won't think he's the best player of all time.
No. Well, then what's his legacy if he goes to Houston?
I don't want him to go to Houston. I want him to go to LA.
He's not going to LA. LA is garbage.
He's going to LA.
You think that LeBron is going to LA after this year? What's your thoughts on that,
That's
guys?
what I would like to see.
LA is
Where
garbage.
where is LeBron
Now-
going after the year? Is he
now
going to stay
they're
in
garbage.
Cleveland? Is he going to LA with that young cast? Is he going to Philly with that young cast? Or is he going to Houston with that team? Now, that's, LeBron's got some great choices.
Hold on, before we
So-
go, we cannot discredit Eric Spoelstra. He was a really good coach with the Heat, and he's still a good coach
That's
there
true.
now. Has a very bad team, and there's the 8th seed. Right
That's
now.
very true. He was young. He just came out of nowhere, and I think.
So I do think he did have one good coach, not a great coach like Phil Jackson, but he did have a good coach at
All
one
right.
point who didn't get fired, and the whole time he was at one.
Carlos says he's agreed. Spoelstra's top 5 coach. It's true. He was very young when LeBron was there, so he was just getting his feet wet. So again, do you guys? Let's switch it up. We're gonna go back to Golden State and Houston. Will Houston win the West? Can they hold on? And 2 again, Golden State. Will Golden State step it up once the playoffs start? Or are they too tough once it gets to a 7-game series?
This is like the best thing that possibly could have happened for a basketball fan, is because you just don't know.
Yeah.
It's like every year for the past 5 years we've known who was the best in the West. And now that we get into a situation where Houston Rockets look like they're unbeatable right now,
15 games in a row.
just beat the Celtics, it's like, I don't know. I like Houston. After they beat the Celtics yesterday, it gave me a lot of confidence in them, especially going down the stretch. It seems like they have a lot more confidence. And they have more than one person who can shoot the ball and who can take that final shot. I mean, you don't need Harden to shoot every shot going down the stretch. I mean, they have plenty of guys who can score the ball at the end of the game, and that is
And
like,
they got a really well balanced team.
They
They
have
almost
a
match Golden
great
State well because
balanced
their
team.
bench is very good too. So they're not just relying on the first, the first 5 players. They got guys that come off the bench and play really well. That's what makes Golden State so tough. They can bring off guys off the bench that are going to score, and they're so good distributing the ball. It's just a fun team to watch. I love watching Golden State because of how they distribute the ball, and it's not just one guy.
Yeah.
well, I hate watching them because they are not good.
I'm still going Golden State.
Golden State, yeah, I
Listen.
believe it too. I think until I see it, it's going to be hard for anybody to beat Golden State in the 7-game series with that talent and how many shooters they have, and they can play defense when they want to.
They are so good. It's like it's annoying.
It's frustrating.
It gets so annoying.
Kevin Durant ruined basketball. I'm telling you that right now. He's going to ruin basketball for years to come.
I
Because
agree.
every great player, every former MVP who doesn't have a championship is going to the best team. I'm telling you.
That won't happen, but I feel like he really did mess up the shift. Because I mean, when you're 1 game away from beating the team that you went to the next year,
Yeah, it was pretty.
It just looked bad.
you looked like a chump and a cupcake.
Because they had a big. Were they not up 3-1?
They were up
They were up
3-2.
No,
I think they were up
3-1.
3-1.
They were up 3-1.
They were up 3-1.
Yeah, I think
Yes.
Oklahoma was up 3-1 to Golden State. Golden State won 3 in a row. I do. If I remember correctly, that was it. And you're right. That's what made everybody so frustrated with Durant's decision to leave, is because they felt that he had the team to knock Golden State off and keep that West Division even more competitive. Yeah, he decided to leave. I blame that on LeBron too. So I know you don't like to hear it, but he started the trend, and
No.
why do you blame Durant?
No.
And it was okay
No,
for LeBron.
No. Do
LeBron was
not
never going
start.
to win. LeBron was never going to win with that Cleveland team. If
Do
he never left
not
Miami.
start. Please, God, do not
But
start.
didn't he get that Cleveland team to the finals several times?
He got there once.
Once or
and,
once?
and they
And
lost to the Spurs.
They got swept.
Yeah, I think it was swept or 4-1, something like that.
Like,
That's
you cannot compare what Durant did to what LeBron did. Kevin Durant was he had a superstar there playing with him.
Yeah.
LeBron James had nobody.
And he could have.
His team
Well, he could have
stunk.
swayed guys to come play. Why did he
No.
sway? Why did he sway
What?
the guys that went to Miami to go to Cleveland instead? And he stayed Cleveland.
What is-
He could have got the
What are you
guy from
talking about?
Toronto. He could have got Bosch to go to Cleveland instead of him deciding to go to Miami with Bosch.
Why would anybody rather go to Cleveland than Miami?
Well,
Why would anybody
Well, hold
want
on.
to do
Cleveland
that?
went to the finals the year before. Did he not go to the finals? They were a better team than the Heat.
They went to the finals in 2007.
I don't think they went to the finals the year before he left.
No,
They didn't.
they didn't.
I'm pretty
They
sure
lost to. They lost to. I think they lost to Boston. They lost to the Celtics.
Yes, I think that is what it is. I think.
Because Carlos is saying Kevin Garnett and Allen started. It wasn't LeBron
Yeah.
with going to the Celtics. I still
I
blame
just-
LeBron. It was LeBron's fault.
Oh my! It is not
Not
LeBron's
Garnett.
fault. Like, just because that. I mean, like the Golden State team already won a championship. I mean, I get it. Dwayne
Yeah,
Wade
no,
won a championship,
that's true.
but it was just like Dwayne Wade. It wasn't like Dwayne
Yeah,
Wade.
it wasn't like the Golden State team.
It was not already had
really
three
good players.
superstars.
Yeah, but do you consider those other guys superstars now,
Yes.
or do you just look at just Durant and Curry?
No, Klay Thompson.
Is Klay Thompson and Green? Do you look at
Bro,
them
he's
as
scoring like
superstars,
20
or do you
points a
look at
game.
them like just
He's-
really good players?
He's still scoring 20 points a game.
Okay. Do I
Even though
think?
you-
I'm just
threes.
asking, dude.
Do I
I don't
think
look at
if-
him as a superstar because I look at Durant and Curry as superstar. I don't look at those other two.
Do I
I
think
think
if
if-
Klay Thompson went to another team, would he be a superstar? Probably not. But I think since he's in the limelight and he's with the Golden State Warriors, it makes him one of those 4 superstars. He's been an all-star for.
The one thing I
3 or
do
4
love
straight
about
years,
him
so I
is that
mean-
he plays really, really good defense.
So if we don't call him a superstar, we can call him an all-star. So if we're gonna say, oh, he went to a team that had 3 or 4 all-stars already,
All right.
then I mean I think it's kind of the same thing. It's getting the same
Yeah.
point across.
So, with that being said, anything else right now regarding the NBA?
I got something. Why do we keep sleeping on the Toronto Raptors?
Yeah, we don't talk much about.
We
the
don't talk
Raptors.
about them
And
at
they're
all.
leading the East. They've been leading the East all year.
And they just keep winning.
What do you guys
games.
think about the Toronto Raptors? Do you guys think that they're gonna hold off the Celtics and,
No.
and Cleveland? And do you think Toronto is good enough, obviously, to go to the finals this year? That would be my question. Do you think that they're gonna beat LeBron in a 7-game series?
No,
Never.
they've never done it.
So why?
That's why we
That's
sleep
why.
on
That's probably why we don't talk about
Exactly. So Toronto's a waste of breath. All they have is Drake.
it.
Listen,
Oh my god!
if they traded Drake, they could probably get LeBron. So, if I was Cleveland, I would take that. I would take
you would
that
take
trade.
that trade?
I would take Drake for
Oh,
LeBron.
Let Drake be the head coach at Cleveland. He'd probably have so much more fun.
Yeah, probably. All right, so yeah, well, obviously we get closer to the end of the NBA season. We'll have more to say, and it'll get more fun because there's some teams playing really well. The Wizards are playing well without their superstar.
Playing
Right,
really well
Phillies
without John Wall.
without John Wall. Philly's playing fantastic ball as a young team. I just love watching them play, and when they play well together, it's fun to watch. And so you got a lot of teams playing well, which is going to make the playoffs even more fun to watch. It's probably the one year in a long time that I'm actually excited to watch maybe more of the playoffs and more of the end of the season than I've ever been.
Yeah, I mean it's close too. It's only a couple games between like the 8th and the 3 seed in each like conference. So
All right, so let's move on.
let's go to obviously it's March.
March
and
Madness. What do you guys think?
March Madness.
Again, let me pause. You're watching Family Chats, where sports brings the family together. Again, my name's Freddie Rivera. I'm the dad and the uncle. Got my son Joe, my nephew Angel here, and we come here talking sports. Very interactive with all you guys. So thank you for your feedback, your questions, and just being a part of the show. So we're gonna now jump from the NBA to March Madness. Give us your thoughts. Are you excited about March Madness? Do you know much about college basketball? That usually becomes a challenge. Or do you just watch the big teams like Duke and North Carolina,
There's so many teams.
Virginia? This year there's not that dominant team that
I mean Virginia's
normally
playing
have.
super well.
Virginia's playing very well
Xavier
together.
is playing super well.
But you don't look at them as like an old Kentucky team or an old Duke team where they
They
look
have a
like they were
bunch
just
of
going to
superstars.
dominate. Right, they
Yeah.
had a lot of superstars. So that's going to make this March Madness a little bit more fun. It's going to be tougher to pick who's going to win it all. But you probably have
So let's just since we don't know, we're not gonna try to pick teams right now.
Okay.
And let's just do what strategies, because we're gonna have a bracket challenge. We're gonna try to get as many people of Facebook from family chats bracket that we have, and we're gonna try to, get everybody on it. So let's ask this question: what are the strategies that you guys have or I have when it comes to filling out a bracket, especially when you don't know as much about college basketball?
Yeah, let's talk about that strategy. Do you pick all favorites? Do you pick a few underdogs? Do you just watch the shows and listen to what the so-called experts say about underdogs and pick those? What's your strategy when you do a bracket? Bracket.
It's so hard to do a bracket. I mean, you look at all these teams and you're like, oh, they have a bunch of favorites and blah blah blah. This team's ranked number 4 and against a number 11 seed, or it gets confusing. So it's like you look at it and you're like, what? How do I do this? So I mean, when it comes down to it, you never pick all favorites.
Never. That will. Your bracket will be done the first round.
First round.
First round, your bracket will be gone.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at it, you're like, how does a 15-year-old kid always, or like a really old guy, end up winning? Because you never know. You never know how.
It's so hard to predict.
Greg from Lakeland says he picks one elite and one Cinderella. And goes
But how do you
determine that? Yeah. How do you determine that? Which favorite or what elite team are you going to pick? Is it going to be the number 1 overall? Is it just
let's say this: a number 1 team has never lost to a 16 seed, so that's
right
something to write
down.
down.
So that you go by.
That's pretty much a lock.
Right. You just go by statistics there, and right. So.
And I mean, a 2 seed rarely ever wins. When it comes down to it, it's the 12 and the 5 seeds and the 11-6 games that usually.
Yeah, they usually have a few that will, right, you'll have 2 or 3.
I mean, last year there was 3 11 seeds that beat 6 seeds.
Yeah, that was
out of 4.
impressive.
3 out of 4 went on to win. And I think like 1 12 seed won. Or it was opposite. It was. So, I mean, you look at that, and those teams end up being pretty even. The 6 and the 11 and the 12 and the 5. Because, I mean, these are teams that they usually don't play during the year. Because there's like so many different conferences and so many different, like, American League.
I will usually personally pick like a lot of the big division teams, right? So I'll go ACC, being their big conference. They play a lot of tough competition, so they're used to playing tough competition, right? So I'll pick a lot of the teams from that division: Virginia, Duke, Miami, Cleveland, North Carolina. I kind of will pick those teams a little bit early on, knowing that they've had some stiff competition throughout the year, and they got some talent. And then you go, obviously to the Big East with Nova and Xavier and teams that have been there and coaches that have been there. I like to kind of pick those guys well. Michigan State is another team that its coach is really good in these brackets, and usually whether they're good or not, usually takes their team far. So I'll look at coaches. Right, who's coaching the team? How good are they usually in these tournaments? And kind of pick some of those teams a little bit further,
I mean,
whether they're great or not.
It's crazy, like all the teams that go into this, and like half of them you don't know, and usually 2 of them are gonna win. Teams that you don't know are probably gonna end up winning a game or 2. I mean, this year, I think we really like Virginia. They've only lost 2 games this year, so.
And the thing is that there's what's happening now in college basketball is there's a lot of parity in these other divisions that are not normally that good. So you're getting, like last year, you got 3 11 seeds beating 6 seeds. That's because the competition is starting to be a lot more parity in these college. These young teams are not afraid to play these big time teams anymore. They're actually excited to play them. When you have a Florida Gulf Coast that go on a run for a couple games, they give hope to a lot of these other young colleges, because every year there's a team that comes out of nowhere, it seems like, and they'll win 2 or 3 games. So you'll get your sleeper Cinderella that comes along and just gets a little bit of momentum as they start getting into the tournament.
So I think the best way to fill out a bracket is blindfolded and
just guess.
and a pen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so hard, and you just
is hard.
never know.
I think
And-
early
and I
on, like
hate-
you said, you take a couple upsets, but you go favorite towards the end.
And it stinks when you fill out multiple brackets because you'll have one win here that you didn't put here, and then you're like, oh man, if I just put this win here and this loss here and this win here on all this one bracket, and then you get so upset and so frustrated at yourself, you're like, why didn't I just put this in one bracket? And I mean, it gets frustrating down to March Madness. You usually throw your bracket out in first round.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, what Giovanni said, try to pick your, that 12, 5,
Random.
11, 6 seed games, and just
Pretty
much see who's in those seeds, and then go off of that. But everything else,
But so everybody knows, we'll be doing our own family chats, bracketology challenge.
Probably on ESPN.
So we'll probably do it on ESPN. We'll throw it out there
We'll
probably
give you
this week.
details.
Start throwing some details. So stay tuned. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and so on. So you'll get those details as they come out, and we'll have fun with that. So.